Marvel Rivals Season 3 is about to come to an end, which means it's time to take a look back at all the things our heroes went through so we can kind of determine what we can expect from Season 4. After Adam Warlock's psychic connection and realization of Null's reemergence, the Guardians of the Galaxy are actually the first to arrive on Clintar. Due to what I'm sure is some classic Guardian squabble, they crash land on the surface and become stuck on its sticky symbiote. Fortunately for them, Rocket goes full big brain mode and creates a new device that can swap places with another object. Using this device, the Guardians free themselves from the surface, but in turn, they bring down the celestial husk that's floating in space, all the way crashing onto the planet. Now, of course, who else could find use of a technological being's dead corpse other than Iron Man and Ultron? The two of them are separated from the rest of our heroes and find themselves facing off against the horde of Null's army. Unfortunately for Tony, the safety protocols that he placed on Ultron last season are preventing him from aiding Tony during this fight. To him, all symbiotes are simply venom. Therefore, he shouldn't be doing any damage to them. After a quick reboot of his systems, Ultron is finally assisting Iron Man in their fight. And man, he may be a healer in-game, but I promise you, in lore, he is just as savage as ever. This guy is monologuing and straight annihilating all of these symbiotes. At one point, he even brings up the suggestion of mass genocide. Now, to be fair, as horrible as that idea is, it actually might be the only way that they stand any chance against the symbiote god, and that Celestial very well may have the knowledge that they both need to complete this task. After rushing to this corpse, Tony is in awe of what he sees. He may be a genius, but even he can't fully comprehend everything that he's seeing. Regardless, he decides to connect Jarvis into the Celestial's mainframe. For a brief moment, Tony gains infinite universal knowledge. He sees everything the Celestial had seen in its life, from the birth of the universe itself to its untimely demise at the hands of Null and the All Black. Just before his mind is scrambled from the rush of knowledge, a familiar voice creeps into his head. The presence of Adam Warlock, now clad in all white and gold, somehow even more pure than before, appears before Tony. He explains that he's not yet ready for this amount of knowledge, and if he continues down this path, it will consume him. Recognizing a new voice inside of its consciousness, what remains of the Celestial soul enters in on this conversation. Despite them all agreeing that Null must be destroyed, the Celestial refuses to help, and instead leaves them both with a vision. For Adam Warlock, he sees himself upon a throne as Guardian of the Universe, now dubbed the God of Light. For Iron Man, a mere warning: if he is to beat the darkness, first he must embrace it within himself, but be careful, as he could easily succumb to its will. Meanwhile, Venom foolishly heads onto the planet, guns a-blazing, trying to take down the now turned Queen in Black Hela. This certainly doesn't go well for him, as they become stripped apart like thread on a dang shirt and thrown into cells. Luckily for them, underneath the planet's surface resides a piece of the Phoenix Force that they fuse with in order to escape and rejoin the fight. Meanwhile, the man, the myth, the legend, Blade finally slices his way through to join the Phoenix and put an end to the Queen in Black. Combining their powers, they are finally able to take her down. Ashamed and scared of Null's retaliation, Hela retreats to the 8th city, where she meets a man going by the name of Dai Zhang. So this is where you're hearing a bunch of people claim that the new heroes for Season 4 are going to be both Daredevil and Angela. In this lore piece, it specifies that someone is very likely going to be coming to look for Hela. And considering her brothers Thor and Loki are both still on Clintar, there really only leaves one other family member for her, and that would be her sister, Angela. She's got your basic Asgardian powers, you know, super strength, she's really good with weapons, so it's very likely that she'll probably be some form of tank, and I'm kind of picturing like a sword and shield, which would be really cool. And then as for Daredevil, this Dai Zhang figure obviously very clearly resembles Daredevil, and then on top of that, the fact that he is someone who leads lost souls out of hell, it just sounds like something Murdoch would do, if you ask me. With the Queen in Black finally taken care of, our heroes can finally put their full attention on Null. However, nothing they seem to throw at him seems to work. Venom, infused with the Phoenix Force and wielding the Sword of Dracula, is swatted aside like a fly when faced against him. Even the combined might of Scarlet Witch and Jean Grey is no match for his dark power. After all seems lost, Rocket sets up a plan for one final attack. If Jean dies, she is automatically revived inside the Phoenix's birthplace, the White Hot Room. If only they could find a way to get Null into such a place, the overwhelming light of the room would surely be enough to snuff out Null's darkness. If Jean were to die by Null's hand with the device that Rocket had invented earlier, her soul could swap places with her body, and thus she would swap with Null as well into the White Hot Room. Bravely, Jean admits that this is the only way and faces the symbiote god one last time. With a single stab of the All Black, Phoenix meets her end. But in mere moments, they vanish. The plan had worked. Jean has been returned safely to the planet while Noel is swapped into the White Hot Room where he finally meets his end. The story of this game has been fantastic, and the lore in this season specifically has been great, but let me know what you guys think. Are you excited to find out what's going on in Season 4? And make sure you're following so you don't miss out on anything Marvel Rivals.